legislative reform. There were a couple of questions on this. The RCVS at present is talking about opening up the Veterinary Surgeons Act and trying to replace it. It's been trying to do this for a number of decades. I don't support it because I think in its current form, the Veterinary Surgeons Act broadly does what we need it to do, and it's not overly specific on a number of the provisions it has, which allows it to be timeless. A number of the changes that the RCVS is trying to bring in are either already possible with the existing Veterinary Surgeons Act, for example, limited licensing of individuals, and that's regardless of whether I actually agree with it or not, it's already possible. And then they're also bringing in some proposals about more specific instances. And I think the problem with legislation being specific, particularly in a profession such as ours, is that the profession changes over time, and provisions which seem sensible now may well be outdated in 10 or 20 years, particularly given the rate at which the profession has already changed in the last 10 to 20 years. So I have some concerns about both the necessity and the appropriateness of the changes being proposed. There was a second question about whether I would, or how I would, try to ensure that the direction the RCVS takes fits with where they want to go rather than the professions if there's a difference in the opinions between the RCVS and the profession that's shown up by this consultation. My response to that is, first off, it sounds a bit like a planted question, or a very loaded one. But secondly, what's the point in having a consultation if the RCVS isn't going to listen to it? It just seems a bit silly. The RCVS should be listening to the profession, and if the profession thinks differently to the RCVS, then the RCVS should probably take another look at their objectives. We're supposed to be a self-regulating profession, and if the individuals who are on the RCVS Council don't have the same opinions regarding the direction of the profession as the profession itself as a whole does, then I think those individuals on council probably need to consider their appropriateness for the position they hold.